Good morning, welcome to a morning review. This is Kim Watson speaking on Monday the 16th of May. Okay, looking at the euro dollar first, and we've once again the euro dollar on Friday managed to get back towards its 50 moving average, daily 50 moving average. Slight bounce from there at the moment. It could continue that bounce, of course. We've got the weekly pivot above us at 113.45. Let's have a look at the shorter time frame, and as you can see, well, there's a daily pivot above us as well. So we've got the weekly and daily. There's the weekly at 13.45, the daily at 13.23. So there is the possibility of a show up into that sort of level. Likewise, I guess, if we start seeing some sort of sell-off here, we've got the Friday lows and the monthly S1 again, and also the potential of even breaking lower now. From a daily perspective, if we start breaking this 50, which is quite possible, as I said, it had actually been hit before. If it does start breaking down, well, the euro could run as low as 112.16, sort of in that sort of region, which is the previous lows and previous high there. So certainly has potential for further downside. Personally, I prefer to see the daily weekly pivots hit first. Okay, pound dollar. Well, we're seeing a little rally here as well at the moment. It could be just nothing more than a bear flag. It has again the weekly pivot above it. It hasn't. It's got support in the short term, really aside of that 100 MA, which in itself is pointing southwards, which would suggest it may just slip over at some point. Looking at the hourlies here, well, it's quite in a bit of a choppy old zone, but again, we've got the daily, as I say, weeklies above us. Weekly could, if we did get up to the weekly during the day at 144, it's back to that round 144 number. We've seen a lot of action around this. It could this time provide a bit of a resistance if we get as far as there. Likewise, on the downside, well, if we break, there's a trend line gap running across here. In fact, there's probably going to be two. There'll be this one and this one. If we start seeing a breakdown, well, that will give us the lows towards Friday's lows, and maybe the daily S1 at 143. Okay, Aussie dollar. So the Aussie dollar put in a bit of a reversal. It looked like it gapped a bit, filled the gap, and is pushing up towards the weekly pivot at the moment. The Aussie dollar to me still looks relatively weak in terms of its daily pattern. It's not got quite the same potential of supports, I would think, but it is currently riding below the monthly S2, which it may want to stay within that region or get back in that sort of pocket. However, say the daily trend doesn't look particularly great. Support-wise, well, we're sitting around this 200 MA. Perhaps we just had a little bit of overrun around that, and it may just push up. So, as I said, we've got the weekly pivot above us. We're already above the daily there. So, a shove above the highs here. Just pop that on there. Shove above that highs, may just see it running up towards that weekly. Likewise, any breakdown, a bit similar to any of the other pairings there. If we see a breakdown below this low, maybe looking for Friday's low in the, or say it's Friday's low, it's Sunday's low, and possibly even the S1. Okay, and finally Canadian dollar. You may be wondering what that blue angle area is behind the chart. Well, I'll make it clear in a moment. So Canadian dollar had decent, it's putting a decent pivot swing here on the dailies here. It's selling off again back into this 50, but if it reverses at any point during the day and starts breaking up, well, perhaps this could be a more sustained rally coming forward here. We'll see. But looking at, well, we've got the weekly pivot below, so let's go down and look. As ever, I want to look at what oil's doing, and this is what you're seeing overlaid on the top here is the oil chart that sits across this 60-minute chart at the moment, which just left the oil prices above there. Now it had a little spike, and that spike up in oil has brought the Canadian dollar down, and it's holding up pretty well on the hourlies at the moment. which is seeing the Canadian dollar come down towards its daily and weekly pivots at the moment. So there's a fair chance that it could just come off some more towards those sort of levels. If this continues, well, we could just see it back towards the 200, or even a bigger correction maybe. But any support, any drop off on oil, meanwhile, would see, as I say, potential continuation of this sort of pivot swing that's in from a daily point of view and further upside. Okay, that's it for me. Hope you have a great day. I'll be back on in the morning. Bye for now.